Hey, what's up, DFS Rico? Coming at you with my picks and insight for this EU Masters 6-game slate on Wednesday, April 22nd. Before I get started, if you can like, subscribe, comment at the end of the video if you have any questions. Subscribers have been slowly growing, so I do appreciate it. If you're watching these videos, just subscribe, it won't hurt. But yeah, to get started, this is the EU Masters, so what these guys are technically playing for is a spot in the LEC. So since FC Schalke was practically the worst team in the LEC this past season, they got relegated to this, so they have to play back in if they want to be in the LEC. So whoever wins this is practically going to get the spot that FC Schalke lost. So in the summer season, um, whoever wins will technically replace FC Schalke's spot. This is practically what all these guys are playing for. It's going to be if you look on Ligapedia, it's going to be four days per week. So you'll have today, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then next week you'll have the same thing: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then the week after you'll have the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals. So they'll each play each other in their group stage twice. I mean, they'll each play each other twice in their group stage, and then the top two from each group will go to the quarterfinals, and then that's when they'll play a best of three. So right now they're just playing best of one. Quarterfinals they'll play best of three, and then semifinals same thing, best of three, and then finals they'll play best of five. And then whoever wins that will obviously go to the LEC. But it will be 6 games. It should be 6 games per day, if my math is right. But if it's not, we'll see. So there is no stats on these guys yet. The only ones that really have stats are some of the FC Schalke guys. If you see on DraftKings, the guys you'll see that have stats are Inax, Gilius, and Lurox, and only because they have experience playing in the LEC. If you look at their stats, they're the only guys on the team that they actually played in the LEC. So that's why they do have stats. But Inax, towards the end of the season, or when they got relegated, they had to play again into the practically EU Masters. There's like tournaments before this for each region, depending where they're at, like Germany, Poland, or whatever. And then they did a roster change, so they swapped Inax with Neon. So Neon's their new starting AD carry. And then, like I mentioned, it looks like the last 2 matches of the season, they swapped out Lurox for Gilius. So that's why Gilius has 2 matches in the LEC against Rogue, and yeah. And then that's why Gilius has match history as well. So Lurox and Inax were replaced, and I assume that stays the same, just because why change what's working? I mean, they went 5-1 in their practically play into the EU Masters. So they played pretty well without Inax and Lurox, so I don't expect them to play, but I mean, you never know. So that's something I would keep the lookout on if you are going to be playing Schalke. And that's pretty much the only things. I think there's only like one team that has a sub, which is SNG. They have 2 supports if you look at them, but Vayu has been playing through all their tournaments, so I expect him to start. I don't expect PlayStation to start. And they're only playing best of 1, so you don't have to worry about them subbing anytime during the match. But everyone else, practically all the 5 players they have, is the only 5 players you have to worry about, other than Schalke, like I mentioned, SNG. But like I mentioned, I'm pretty sure I should be spot on with the starters for Schalke and the starters for SNG. And just to get started, I'm not going to be playing. I'm mainly just going to be playing mostly cash and maybe a little bit of GPP. Just because we have no stats on these guys. These guys literally have no stats. Maybe after this first week we'll have a good idea of who the better teams are. So going into next week, we can kind of, plan better and actually have numbers to look at. Other than the numbers that they just had in their tournaments, which have never even played against each other. So they could have been playing against weaker competition. They're going to be playing better teams now. The guys that won their competitions in each region to be eligible for the EU Masters play-in practically. So that's pretty much it with that. So I am just going to be playing favorites. I mean, you got your huge favorites. I'll just run through all the favorites. You got FC Schalke over Movie Star Riders. Then you got Kiki Sports over Team Singularity. Mouse Esports over Energy Pot Wizards. Fnatic Rising, which is like the baby team for Fnatic, over Isuba. And then you got Vodafone Giants over Team LDLC and Rogue Esports over Diffuse Kids. So that's pretty much it with these guys. The hugest favorites you got is Mouth Esports and Fnatic Rising, so I assume a lot of cash will be going there. But like I mentioned, that's probably all I'm going to be playing. Since I don't have any stats on these guys, I'd rather just play it safe for the first couple days. I mean, like I mentioned, there should be 4 slates this week if DraftKings really gets some good turnout for the first day of this. I assume they would, because there's not really, if you look at the LPL and LCK, which I will be putting a video out, there's not really much to look at there. But that's really it with that. I don't really want to run through the positions too much just because we don't have any stats on any of these guys. But it does make it really easy. I mean, other than the huge favorites, I mean, you got like 8.2k and 8k for Fnatic Rising and Mouse, which are the 2 biggest favorites on the slate. You can easily fit in 2 of the favorites and have one of their AD carries or mid laners in the captain spot, it's what I've noticed. So if you want to play some of the lower odd teams like Shulk, or like with Rogue Esports and Shulk, maybe pair them up, you should be able to fit in like one of their AD carries or one of their mid laners in the captain spot. So you can end up with 2 AD carries or 2 mid laners in your lineups. Like I mentioned, the only thing is we don't know anything like about these teams. We don't know enough about these teams against each other, at least. We know what they've done in their play-ins, but that's about it. So it's really all I'm looking at for cash and even GPPs. I'm just going to play the favorites for the first couple days and see how that goes. See how these teams play out the first 2 or 3 games. And that's really it. But that's all I really wanted to talk about for the EU Masters. I don't really have much to go on it. Just play the favorites. I think that's really it. Mouse Esports, Fnatic Rising, the biggest favorites on the slate. Then FC Shulk, practically the only other ex-pro team. I mean, AGO Rogue was also like a sister team to the actual Rogue, but their team is completely new as well, so which they were a pro team as well at one point. But that's really about it. Just play the favorites today and tomorrow probably, and then we'll see where we go from there. But I will be putting out content for this if they make more contests for sure. I usually like the bigger slates better. And on that note, I think that's really it. So if you can just subscribe, like, comment at the end of the video if you have any questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. It's going to be the same as usual. 4-3 stacks is usually what I'll end up with. And then I will be making Call of Duty videos. Tomorrow I will have a video practically showing how you do play and how it plays out. And then the day after, on Thursday, I should have the video. Maybe even Wednesday I might be able to make the video for my picks and all that stuff. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Always love the feedback and the comments and the subscribers growing slowly. But yeah, thank you.